G'day, I'm Kenny Roo from Kangaroo Energy. If you already have solar or you're thinking about installing it, one of the biggest questions you'll face is this: what size battery do I actually need? Not what sounds impressive, not what looks good on a quote, but what size battery actually makes sense for your home, your energy usage, and your goals. Because battery sizing is where many Australians overspend, underperform, or misunderstand what they're buying. Today I'm going to explain how battery sizing really works, what the numbers actually mean, and how to choose a battery size that works in real life, not just on paper. Let's start with a simple truth. Batteries don't create energy, they only store it. That means a battery is only as useful as the solar energy available to charge it, and this is where most confusion begins. When people look at batteries, they usually focus on one number: kilowatt hours, 10 kilowatt hours, 13 kilowatt hours, 20 kilowatt hours. But that number alone tells you almost nothing. A battery's usefulness depends on three things: how much electricity your household uses in a day, when you use that electricity, and how much solar energy your system produces. If those three things aren't aligned, the battery either sits underused or runs empty when you need it most. Let's talk about daily energy use. In Australia, homes don't all use electricity the same way. Some households use very little energy overall, some are average, some are heavy users with larger families, pools, or electric vehicles. Daily energy use is measured in kilowatt hours per day, and this number matters far more than your monthly bill. A home using 10 kilowatt hours per day behaves very differently from a home using 30, and the right battery size for those homes is completely different. Now let's talk about solar production. Solar panels generate most of their energy during daylight hours. Late morning through to mid-afternoon is when panels perform best. But here's the problem. Most homes use the most electricity in the evening. Lights, cooking, heating or cooling, entertainment, charging devices. That timing mismatch is exactly why batteries exist. They store daytime solar so it can be used later. But here's the critical part. If your household already uses a lot of energy during the day, there may not be much excess solar left to charge a large battery. And if there isn't enough excess solar to fill a battery regularly, a larger battery doesn't provide better value. It just provides unused capacity. This is why solar system size and battery size must always be considered together. A small solar system can only produce a limited amount of energy each day. That naturally limits how large a battery can be effectively used. Installing a large battery with a small solar system often leads to disappointment. The battery looks impressive, but in practice, it rarely fills. Now let's talk about something very important: self-consumption. Self-consumption simply means how much of your solar energy you actually use in your own home. The higher your self-consumption, the more value you get from solar. The lower it is, the more energy gets exported to the grid for a low credit. Here's the key pattern you need to understand. Homes that use very little energy but install large solar systems usually have low self-consumption. There's just nowhere for all that energy to go. On the other hand, homes with higher daily energy use naturally absorb more of their solar. This means more of the solar is used on site, less is wasted, and batteries become more useful. This relationship between energy use and solar size explains why professionals often aim for a balanced system. If self-consumption drops too low, system efficiency and financial performance usually suffer. That's not a rule, it's a pattern. And it shows up again and again in real homes. Now let's connect this directly to batteries. A battery can only store excess solar that actually exists. If your self-consumption is already low, adding a large battery doesn't magically create more solar energy. It just creates more empty storage. That's why batteries must follow real energy flow, not marketing numbers. Let's talk about undersizing and oversizing. If a battery is too small, it empties early in the evening. You still end up buying grid electricity later at night. That limits savings. But if a battery is too large, it may not fill fully most days. That unused capacity represents money spent without benefit. In both cases, the system isn't working efficiently. The goal is balance. Usage pattern also matters. Some homes use most of their electricity during the day. Others use very little until evening. A home with strong daytime usage may need a smaller battery. A home with low daytime usage and high evening demand may benefit from more storage. This is why two homes with the same total energy use can need very different battery sizes. Now let's talk about backup power, because this is often misunderstood. Backup power is not automatic, not all batteries provide it. And even when they do, backup usually supports selected circuits, not the entire home. Battery size alone does not guarantee good backup. System design matters just as much. Inverter capability, wiring configuration, load selection, all of these affect what actually works during a blackout. There's also a difference between saving money and achieving energy independence. If your goal is financial return, smaller batteries often make more sense. They fill more often. They cycle more frequently. and they tend to deliver better value per dollar spent. Larger batteries can increase independence or backup duration, but they usually cost much more for diminishing financial returns. That doesn't make them wrong. It just means they need to be chosen intentionally. Battery sizing has become even more important recently because of government incentives. Current rebate structures support certain ranges of usable battery capacity. Oversized systems may not receive proportionally higher support. That means buying bigger than necessary can reduce overall value. Incentives increasingly reward right-sized systems, not maximum capacity. Here's a practical way to sanity check battery size. If your solar system regularly fills your battery on most days, the battery is likely well matched. If it struggles to reach full charge even in good weather, the battery is probably too large. If it empties too early every night, it may be too small, or your usage pattern may need adjusting. The system should work naturally with how you live. Future planning matters too. If you plan to add an electric vehicle, a heat pump, or more appliances, that future load may justify a larger battery, but only if solar capacity grows alongside it. Planning ahead is smart. Overspending without a plan is not. So what's the real takeaway from all of this? Battery sizing is not about chasing the biggest number, it's about matching storage to real energy flows. A well-sized battery fills often, discharges meaningfully, and delivers predictable benefits. A poorly sized battery looks impressive but underperforms. If you're considering a battery, here's what you should do before choosing a size. Understand your daily energy use. Understand when you use that energy. Understand how much solar your system produces across the year. Decide whether your priority is savings, backup, or independence. And make sure the system is designed around those goals, not just around rebates or marketing. Battery technology will improve. Programs and incentives will change, but the fundamentals of sizing will not. Energy in, energy out. Storage matched to use. Thanks for watching. If you want clear, calm, and honest explanations about solar, batteries, and real-world energy decisions, subscribe to Kangaroo Energy. No hype, no pressure, just practical energy knowledge for Australian homes. I'm Kenny Roo. See you in the next one.